Arizona, Arizon. About this sound listen, Navajo, Huzdo Hahudzo Navajo pronunciation, XO grave Zito XXO grave So, Oadam, Ali Sonak Uto Aztecan pronunciation, Ionak, is a state in the southwestern region of the United States. It is also part of the western and the mountain states. It is the 6th largest and the 14th most populous of the 50 states. Its capital and largest city is Phoenix. Arizona shares the Four Corners region with Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. Its other neighboring states are Nevada and California to the west and the Mexican states of Sonora and Baja California to the south and southwest. Arizona is the 48th state and last of the contiguous states to be admitted to the Union, achieving statehood on February 14, 1912, coinciding with Valentine's Day. Historically part of the territory of Alta California in New Spain, it became part of independent Mexico in 1821. After being defeated in the Mexican-American War, Mexico ceded much of this territory to the United States in 1848. The southernmost portion of the state was acquired in 1853 through the Gadsden Purchase. Southern Arizona is known for its desert climate, with very hot summers and mild winters. Northern Arizona features forests of pine, Douglas fir, and spruce trees, the Colorado Plateau, mountain ranges such as the San Francisco Mountains, as well as large, deep canyons, with much more moderate summer temperatures and significant winter snowfalls. There are ski resorts in the areas of Flagstaff, Alpine, and Tucson. In addition to the internationally known Grand Canyon National Park, which is one of the world's 7 natural wonders, there are several national forests, national parks, and national monuments. About 1/4 of the state, 7, is made up of Indian reservations that serve as the home of 27 federally recognized Native American tribes, including the Navajo Nation, the largest in the state and the United States, with more than 300,000 citizens. Although federal law gave all Native Americans the right to vote in 1924, Arizona excluded those living on reservations in the state from voting until the state Supreme Court ruled in favor of Native American plaintiffs in Trujillo v. Garley, 1948. 8-9. Etymology: the state's name appears to originate from an earlier Spanish name, Arizonic, derived from the Oadam name Ali Sonak, meaning small spring, which initially applied only to an area near the silver mining camp of Planchas de Plata, Sonora. 10, 11, 12, 13. To the European settlers, their pronunciation sounded like Arizona. 14. The area is still known as Ali Sonak in the Oadam language. 15. Another possible origin is the Basque phrase Haritz Ona, the good oak, as there were numerous Basque sheepherders in the area. 16, 17, 18. A native Mexican of Basque heritage established the Rancheria village of Arizona between 1734 and 1736 in the current Mexican state of Sonora, which became notable after a significant discovery of silver there, c. 1737. 19. There is a misconception that the state's name originated from the Spanish term arida zona, arid zone. 14. History main article, History of Arizona. This section needs additional citations for verification. Please help improve this article by adding citations to reliable sources. Unsourced material may be challenged and removed. Find sources: Arizona News Newspapers Books Scholar JSTOR, February 2018. Learn how and when to remove this template message. The North Rim of the Grand Canyon. The south rim of the Grand Canyon. For thousands of years before the modern era, Arizona was home to many Native American tribes. Hohokam, Mogollon and ancestral Puebloan cultures were among those that flourished throughout the state. Many of their pueblos, cliffside dwellings, rock paintings and other prehistoric treasures have survived and attract thousands of tourists each year. La Conquista del Colorado, by Augusto Ferrer Dalmau, depicts Francisco Vázquez de Coronado's 1540–1542 expedition in 1539. Marcos de Niza, a Spanish Franciscan, became the first European to contact Native Americans. He explored parts of the present state and made contact with native inhabitants, probably the Sobaipuri. The expedition of Spanish explorer Coronado entered the area in 1540–1542 during its search for Cibola. Few Spanish settlers migrated to Arizona. One of the first settlers in Arizona was José Romo de Vivar. 20. Father Kino was the next European in the region. A member of the Society of Jesus, Jesuits, he led the development of a chain of missions in the region. He converted many of the Indians to Christianity in the Pimeria Alta, now southern Arizona and northern Sonora, in the 1690s and early 18th century. Spain founded presidios, fortified towns, at Tubac in 1752 and Tucson in 1775. When Mexico achieved its independence from the Kingdom of Spain and its Spanish Empire in 1821, what is now Arizona became part of its territory of Nueva California, New California, also known as Alta California, Upper California. 21 Descendants of ethnic Spanish and Mestizo settlers from the colonial years still lived in the area at the time of the arrival of later European American migrants from the United States. Mexico in 1824. Alta California is the northwesternmost state. During the Mexican-American War 1847–1848, the U.S. Army occupied the national capital of Mexico City and pursued its claim to much of northern Mexico, including what later became Arizona Territory in 1863 and later the state of Arizona in 1912. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo 1848 specified that, in addition to language and cultural rights of the existing inhabitants of former Mexican citizens being considered as inviolable, the sum of $15 million in compensation, equivalent to $443,250,000 in 2019, be paid to the Republic of Mexico. 22 In 1853, the U.S. acquired the land south below the Gila River from Mexico in the Gadsden Purchase along the southern border area as encompassing the best future southern route for a transcontinental railway. What is now known as the state of Arizona was initially administered by the United States government as part of the territory of New Mexico until the southern part of that region seceded from the Union to form the territory of Arizona. 23 This newly established territory was formally organized by the Confederate States government on Saturday, January 18, 1862, when President Jefferson Davis approved and signed an act to organize the Territory of Arizona. 24 Marking the first official use of the name, Territory of Arizona. The Southern Territory supplied the Confederate government with men, horses, and equipment. Formed in 1862, Arizona Scout companies served with the Confederate States Army during the Civil War. Arizona has the westernmost military engagement on record during the Civil War with the Battle of Picacho Pass. Geronimo, far right, and his Apache warriors fought against both Mexican and American settlers. The federal government declared a new U.S. Arizona Territory, consisting of the western half of earlier New Mexico Territory, in Washington, D.C., on February 24, 1863. These new boundaries would later form the basis of the state. The first territorial capital, Prescott, was founded in 1864 following a gold rush to central Arizona. 25. The capital was later moved to Tucson, back to Prescott, and then to its final location in Phoenix in a series of controversial moves as different regions of the territory gained and lost political influence with the growth and development of the territory. 26. Although names including Gadsonia, Pimeria, Montezuma, and Arizuma had been considered for the territory. 27. When 16th President Abraham Lincoln signed the final bill, it read Arizona, and that name was adopted. Montezuma was not derived from the Aztec emperor, but was the sacred name of a divine hero to the Pima people of the Gila River Valley. It was probably considered, and rejected, for its sentimental value before Congress settled on the name Arizona. Brigham Young, patriarchal leader of The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Salt Lake City in Utah, sent Mormons to Arizona in the mid to late 19th century. They founded Mesa, Snowflake, Eber, Safford, and other towns. They also settled in the Phoenix Valley or Valley of the Sun, Tempe, Prescott, and other areas. The Mormons settled what became northern Arizona and northern New Mexico. At the time these areas were in a part of the former New Mexico Territory. During the 19th century, a series of gold and silver rushes occurred in the territory, the best known being the 1870s stampede to the silver bonanzas of Tombstone, Arizona in southeast Arizona, also known for its legendary outlaws and lawmen. 28 By the late 1880s, copper production eclipsed the precious metals with the rise of copper camps like Bisbee, Arizona and Jerome, Arizona. 29, 30. The boom and bust economy of mining also left hundreds of ghost towns across the territory, but copper mining continued to prosper, with the territory producing more copper than any other state by 1907, which earned Arizona the nickname, the Copper State, at the time of statehood. 32. During the first years of statehood, the industry experienced growing pains and labor disputes, with the Bisbee deportation of 1917 the result of a copper miners' strike. 33. The state continues to produce half of the nation's newly mined copper. Children of Depression-era migrant workers, Pinal County, 1937. 20th century to present. During the Mexican Revolution from 1910 to 1920, several battles were fought in the Mexican towns just across the border from Arizona settlements. Throughout the revolution, many Arizonans enlisted in one of the several armies fighting in Mexico. Only 2 significant engagements took place on U.S. soil between U.S. and Mexican forces: Pancho Villa's 1916 Columbus raid in New Mexico, and the Battle of Ambos Nogales in 1918 in Arizona. The Americans won the latter. After Mexican federal troops fired on U.S. soldiers, the American garrison launched an assault into Nogales, Mexico. The Mexicans eventually surrendered after both sides sustained heavy casualties. A few months earlier, just west of Nogales, an Indian War battle had occurred, considered the last engagement in the American Indian Wars, which lasted from 1775 to 1918. U.S. soldiers stationed on the border confronted Yaqui Indians who were using Arizona as a base to raid the nearby Mexican settlements, as part of their wars against Mexico. Arizona became a U.S. state on February 14, 1912. Arizona was the 48th state admitted to the U.S. and the last of the contiguous states to be admitted. Eleanor Roosevelt at the Gila River Relocation Center, April 23, 1943. Cotton farming and copper mining, 2 of Arizona's most important statewide industries, suffered heavily during the Great Depression. But during the 1920s and even the 1930s, tourism began to develop as the important Arizonan industry it is today. Dude ranches, such as the KL Bar and Ramuda in Wickenburg, along with the Flying V and Tonk Verde in Tucson, gave tourists the chance to take part in the flavor and activities of the Old West. Several upscale hotels and resorts opened during this period, some of which are still top tourist draws. They include the Arizona Biltmore Hotel in Central Phoenix, opened 1929, and the Wigwam Resort on the west side of the Phoenix area, opened 1936. Arizona was the site of German prisoner of war camps during World War II and Japanese-American internment camps. Because of wartime fears of a Japanese invasion of the U.S. West Coast, which in fact materialized in the Aleutian Islands Campaign in June 1942, the government authorized the removal of all Japanese-American residents from all the Alaska Territory and California, the western halves of Washington and Oregon, and southern Arizona. From 1942 to 1945, they were forced to reside in internment camps built in the interior of the country. Many lost their homes and businesses. The camps were abolished after World War II. The Phoenix area German POW site was purchased after the war by the Maytag family, of major home appliance fame. It was developed as the site of the Phoenix Zoo. A Japanese-American internment camp was on Mount Lemmon, just outside the state's southeastern city of Tucson. Another POW camp was near the Gila River in eastern Yuma County. Arizona was also home to the Phoenix Indian School, one of several federal Indian boarding schools designed to assimilate Native American children into mainstream European American culture. Children were often enrolled into these schools against the wishes of their parents and families. Attempts to suppress Native identities included forcing the children to cut their hair, to take and use English names, to speak only English, and to practice Christianity rather than their native religions. 34. Numerous Native Americans from Arizona fought for the United States during World War II. Their experiences resulted in a rising activism in the post-war years to achieve better treatment and civil rights after their return to the state. After Maricopa County did not allow them to register to vote, in 1948 veteran Frank Harrison and Harry Austin, of the Mojave Apache tribe at Fort McDowell Indian Reservation, brought a legal suit, Harrison and Austin v. Levine, to challenge this exclusion. The Arizona Supreme Court ruled in their favor. 9. Arizona's population grew tremendously with residential and business development after World War II, aided by the widespread use of air conditioning, which made the intensely hot summers more comfortable. According to the Arizona Blue Book, published by the Arizona Secretary of State's office each year, the state population in 1910 was 294,353. By 1970, it was 1,752,122. The percentage growth each decade averaged about 20% in the earlier decades, and about 60% each decade thereafter. In the 1960s, retirement communities were developed. These age-restricted subdivisions catered exclusively to the needs of senior citizens and attracted many retirees who wanted to escape the harsh winters of the Midwest and the Northeast. Sun City, established by developer Del Webb and opened in 1960, was one of the first such communities. Green Valley, south of Tucson, was another such community, designed as a retirement subdivision for Arizona's teachers. Many senior citizens from across the U.S. and Canada come to Arizona each winter and stay only during the winter months. They are referred to as snowbirds. In March 2000, Arizona was the site of the first legally binding election ever held over the Internet to nominate a candidate for public office. 35 In the 2000 Arizona Democratic primary, under worldwide attention, Al Gore defeated Bill Bradley. Voter turnout in this state primary increased more than 500% over the 1996 primary. 3 ships named USS Arizona have been christened in honor of the state, although only USS Arizona BB-39 was so named after statehood was achieved. Geography and Geology Main article, Geography of Arizona. Köppen climate types of Arizona. The Horseshoe Bend of the Colorado River. West Mitten at Monument Valley. Blue Mesa at Petrified Forest National Park. The Grand Canyon. The San Francisco Peaks seen from Belmont. Sonoran Desert at Saguaro National Park. Cathedral Rock near Red Rock Crossing in Sedona. See also lists of counties, islands, rivers, lakes, state parks, national forests, and volcanic craters. Arizona is in the southwestern United States as one of the Four Corners states. Arizona is the 6th largest state by area, ranked after New Mexico and before Nevada. Of the state's 113,998 square miles, 295,000 square kilometers, approximately 15% is privately owned. The remaining area is public forest and park land, state trust land and Native American reservations. Arizona is well known for its desert basin and range region in the state's southern portions, which is rich in a landscape of xerophyte plants such as the cactus. This region's topography was shaped by prehistoric volcanism, followed by the cooling off and related subsidence. Its climate has exceptionally hot summers and mild winters. The state is less well known for its pine-covered north-central portion of the high country of the Colorado Plateau. See Arizona mountains forests. Like other states of the southwest United States, Arizona has an abundance of mountains and plateaus. Despite the state's aridity, 27% of Arizona is forest, 36, a percentage comparable to modern-day Romania or Greece. 37. The world's largest stand of ponderosa pine trees is in Arizona. 38. The Mogollon Rim, a 1,998-foot (609 meters) escarpment, cuts across the state's central section and marks the southwestern edge of the Colorado Plateau. In 2002, this was an area of the Rodeo Chetasky Fire, the worst fire in state history. Located in northern Arizona, the Grand Canyon is a colorful, deep, steep-sided gorge, carved by the Colorado River. The canyon is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world and is largely contained in the Grand Canyon National Park, one of the first national parks in the United States. President Theodore Roosevelt was a major proponent of designating the Grand Canyon area as a national park, often visiting to hunt mountain lion and enjoy the scenery. The canyon was created by the Colorado River cutting a channel over millions of years, and is about 277 miles (446 kilometers) long, ranges in width from 4 to 18 miles (6 to 29 kilometers), and attains a depth of more than 1 mile (1.6 kilometers). Nearly 2 billion years of the Earth's history have been exposed as the Colorado River and its tributaries cut through layer after layer of sediment as the Colorado Plateau uplifted. Arizona is home to one of the most well-preserved meteorite impact sites in the world. Created around 50,000 years ago, the Barringer meteorite crater, better known simply as Meteor Crater, is a gigantic hole in the middle of the high plains of the Colorado Plateau, about 25 miles 40 kilometers west of Winslow. A rim of smashed and jumbled boulders, some of them the size of small houses, rises 150 feet 46 meters above the level of the surrounding plain. The crater itself is nearly a mile 1.6 kilometers wide and 570 feet 170 meters deep. Arizona is one of two U.S. states, Hawaii, that do not observe daylight saving time. The large Navajo Nation in the state's northeastern region does. Earthquakes generally, Arizona is at low risk of earthquakes, except for the southwestern portion which is at moderate risk due to its proximity to Southern California. On the other hand, northern Arizona is at moderate risk due to numerous faults in the area. The regions near and west of Phoenix have the lowest risk. 39. The earliest Arizona earthquakes were recorded at Fort Yuma, on the California side of the Colorado River. They were centered near the Imperial Valley, or Mexico, back in the 1800s. Residents in Douglas felt the 1887 Sonora earthquake with its epicenter 40 miles 64 kilometers to the south in the Mexican state of Sonora. 40. The first damaging earthquake known to be centered within Arizona occurred on January 25, 1906, also including a series of other earthquakes centered near Socorro, New Mexico. The shock was violent in Flagstaff. In September 1910, a series of 52 earthquakes caused a construction crew near Flagstaff to leave the area. In 1912, the year Arizona achieved statehood, on August 18, an earthquake caused a 50-mile crack in the San Francisco Range. In early January 1935, the state experienced a series of earthquakes, in the Yuma area and near the Grand Canyon. Arizona experienced its largest earthquake in 1959, with a tremor of a magnitude 5.6. It was centered near Fredonia, in the state's northwest near the border with Utah. The tremor was felt across the border in Nevada and Utah. 40. Adjacent states: Utah, north; Colorado, northeast; Nevada, northwest; Sonora, Mexico, south; Baja California, Mexico, southwest; New Mexico, east; California, west. Climate: due to its large area and variations in elevation, the state has a wide variety of localized climate conditions. In the lower elevations, the climate is primarily desert, with mild winters and extremely hot summers. Typically, from late fall to early spring, the weather is mild, averaging a minimum of 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 degrees Celsius. November through February are the coldest months, with temperatures typically ranging from 40 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 to 24 degrees Celsius, with occasional frosts. 41. About midway through February, the temperatures start to rise, with warm days, and cool, breezy nights. The summer months of June through September bring a dry heat from 90 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 to 49 degrees Celsius, with occasional high temperatures exceeding 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius, having been observed in the desert area. 41. Arizona's all-time record high is 128 degrees Fahrenheit, 53 degrees Celsius, recorded at Lake Havasu City on June 29, 1994, and July 5, 2007. The all-time record low of -40 degrees Fahrenheit, -40 degrees Celsius, was recorded at Holly Lake on January 7, 1971. Due to the primarily dry climate, large diurnal temperature variations occur in less developed areas of the desert above 2,500 feet (760 meters). The swings can be as large as 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius, in the summer months. In the state's urban centers, the effects of local warming result in much higher measured nighttime lows than in the recent past. Arizona has an average annual rainfall of 12.7 in 323 millimeters, 42, which comes during two rainy seasons, with cold fronts coming from the Pacific Ocean during the winter and a monsoon in the summer. 43. The monsoon season occurs toward the end of summer. In July or August, the dew point rises dramatically for a brief period. During this time, the air contains large amounts of water vapor. Dew points as high as 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 degrees Celsius, 44, have been recorded during the Phoenix monsoon season. This hot moisture brings lightning, thunderstorms, wind, and torrential, if usually brief, downpours. These downpours often cause flash floods, which can turn deadly. In an attempt to deter drivers from crossing flooding streams, the Arizona legislature enacted the Stupid Motorist Law. It is rare for tornadoes or hurricanes to occur in Arizona. Arizona's northern third is a plateau at significantly higher altitudes than the lower desert, and has an appreciably cooler climate, with cold winters and mild summers, though the climate remains semi-arid to arid. Extremely cold temperatures are not unknown. Cold air systems from the northern states and Canada occasionally push into the state, bringing temperatures below 0 degrees Fahrenheit (-18 degrees Celsius) to the state's northern parts. Indicative of the variation in climate, Arizona is the state which has both the metropolitan area with the most days over 100 degrees Fahrenheit (38 degrees Celsius), Phoenix, and the metropolitan area in the lower 48 states with the most days with a low temperature below freezing, Flagstaff. 45. Demographics Main article, Demographics of Arizona. A population density map of Arizona Historical Population Census Pop. Percent plus or minus 1866,482, 1879,658, 49.0%, 1880 40,440, 318.7%, 1890 88,243, 118.2%, 1900 122,931, 39.3%, 1910 204,354, 66.2%, 1923 334,162, 63.5%, 1930 435,573, 30.3%, 1940 499,261, 14.6%, 1950 749,587, 50.1%, 1961 302,161, 73.7%, 1971 745,944, 34.1%, 1982 718,215, 55.7%, 1993 665,228, 34.8%, 2005 130,632, 40.0%, 2010 6,392,017, 24.6%, Est. 2019 7,278,717, 13.9%. Sources 1910 to 2010 47, 2019 estimate 48. Note that early censuses may not include Native Americans in Arizona. The United States Census Bureau estimates Arizona's population was 7,278,717 on July 1, 2019, a 13.87% increase since the 2010 United States Census. 48. Arizona remained sparsely settled for most of the 19th century. 49. The 1860 census reported the population of Arizona County to be 6,482, of whom 4,040 were listed as Indians, 21 as free-colored, and 2,421 as white. 50-51. Arizona's continued population growth puts an enormous stress on the state's water supply. 52. As of 2011, 61.3% of Arizona's children under age 1 belong to racial groups of color. 53. The population of metropolitan Phoenix increased by 45.3% from 1991 through 2001, helping to make Arizona the second fastest growing state in the U.S. In the 1990s, the fastest was Nevada. 54. As of July 2018, the population of the Phoenix area is estimated to be over 4.9 million. According to the 2010 United States Census, Arizona had a population of 6,392,017. In 2010, illegal immigrants constituted an estimated 7.9% of the population. This was the second highest percentage of any state in the U.S. 55. 56. Arizona has banned sanctuary cities. 57. Metropolitan Phoenix, 4.7 million, and Tucson, 1 million, are home to about 5/6 of Arizona's people as of the 2010 census. Metro Phoenix alone accounts for 2/3 of the state's population. Race and ethnicity. In 1980, the Census Bureau reported Arizona's population as 16.2% Hispanic, 5.6% Native American, and 74.5% non-Hispanic white. 58. In 2010, the racial makeup of the state was 73.0% white, 4.6% Native American and Alaska Native, 4.1% Black or African American, 2.8% Asian, 0.2% Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islander, 11.9% from some other race, 3.4% from two or more races. Hispanics or Latinos of any race made up 29.6% of the state's population. Non-Hispanic whites formed 57.8% of the total population. 59. Languages. As of 2010, 72.9% (4,215,749) of Arizona residents age 5 and older spoke English at home as a primary language, while 20.8% (1,202,638) spoke Spanish, 1.5% (85,602) Navajo, 0.4% (22,592) German, 0.4% (22,426) Chinese, which includes Mandarin, 0.3% (19,015) Tagalog, 0.3% (17,603) Vietnamese, 0.3% (15,707) Other North American indigenous languages, especially indigenous languages of Arizona, and French was spoken as a main language by 0.3% (15,062) of the population over the age of 5. In total, 27.1% (1,567,548) of Arizona's population age 5 and older spoke a mother language other than English. 64. Arizona is home to the largest number of speakers of Native American languages in the 48 contiguous states, as more than 85,000 individuals reported speaking Navajo, 65, and 10,403 people reported Apache as a language spoken at home in 2005. 65. Arizona's Apache County has the highest concentration of speakers of Native American Indian languages in the United States. 66. Cities and towns. See also, List of places in Arizona, List of cities and towns in Arizona, and List of Arizona counties. View of suburban development in Scottsdale, 2006. Phoenix, in Maricopa County, is Arizona's capital and largest city. Other prominent cities in the Phoenix metro area include Mesa, Arizona's third-largest city, Chandler, Arizona's fourth-largest city, Glendale, Peoria, Buckeye, Sun City West, Fountain Hills, Surprise, Gilbert, El Mirage, Avondale, Tempe, Tolleson and Scottsdale, with a total metropolitan population of just over 4.7 million. 67. The average high temperature in July, 106 degrees Fahrenheit, 41 degrees Celsius, is one of the highest of any metropolitan area in the United States, offset by an average January high temperature of 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius, the basis of its winter appeal. Tucson, with a metro population of just over 1 million, is the state's second-largest city. Located in Pima County, approximately 110 miles (180 kilometers) southeast of Phoenix, it was incorporated in 1877, making it the oldest incorporated city in Arizona. It is home to the University of Arizona. Major incorporated suburbs of Tucson include Oro Valley and Marana northwest of the city, Sahuarita south of the city, and South Tucson in an enclave south of downtown. It has an average July temperature of 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees Celsius, and winter temperatures averaging 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius. Saguaro National Park, just west of the city in the Tucson Mountains, is the site of the world's largest collection of saguaro cacti. The Prescott metropolitan area includes the cities of Prescott, Cottonwood, Camp Verde and many other towns in the 8,123 square miles (21,000 square kilometers) of Yavapai County area. With 212,635 residents, this cluster of towns is the state's third-largest metropolitan area. The city of Prescott, population 41,528, lies approximately 100 miles (160 kilometers) northwest of the Phoenix metropolitan area. Situated in pine tree forests at an elevation of about 5,500 feet (1,700 meters), Prescott enjoys a much cooler climate than Phoenix, with average summer highs around 88 degrees Fahrenheit (31 degrees Celsius) and winter temperatures averaging 50 degrees Fahrenheit (10 degrees Celsius). Yuma is center of the fourth largest metropolitan area in Arizona. Located in Yuma County, it is near the borders of California and Mexico. It is one of the hottest cities in the United States, with an average July high of 107 degrees Fahrenheit (42 degrees Celsius). The same month's average in Death Valley is 115 degrees Fahrenheit (46 degrees Celsius). The city features sunny days about 90% of the year. The Yuma Metropolitan Statistical Area has a population of 160,000. Yuma attracts many winter visitors from all over the United States. Flagstaff, in Coconino County, is the largest city in northern Arizona, and is at an elevation of nearly 7,000 feet (2,100 meters). With its large ponderosa pine forests, snowy winter weather and picturesque mountains, it is a stark contrast to the desert regions typically associated with Arizona. It is sited at the base of the San Francisco Peaks, the highest mountain range in the state of Arizona, which contain Humphreys Peak, the highest point in Arizona at 12,633 feet (3,851 meters). Flagstaff has a strong tourism sector, due to its proximity to numerous tourist attractions including Grand Canyon National Park, Sedona, and Oak Creek Canyon. Historic U.S. Route 66 is the main east-west street in the town. The Flagstaff metropolitan area is home to 134,421 residents and the main campus of Northern Arizona University. Lake Havasu City, in Mojave County, known as Arizona's Playground, was developed on the Colorado River and is named after Lake Havasu. Lake Havasu City has a population of about 53,000 people. It is famous for huge spring break parties, sunsets and the London Bridge, relocated from London, England. Lake Havasu City was founded by real estate developer Robert P. McCulloch in 1963. 68. It has two colleges, Mojave Community College and ASU colleges in Lake Havasu City. 69. Religion. The Spanish Mission of San Javier del Bac, founded in 1700. Religion in Arizona 2014, 71, religion % Protestant 39%, Nun 27%, Catholic 21%, Mormon 5%, Jewish 2%, Jehovah's Witness 1%, Hindu 1%, Buddhist 1%, Muslim 1%, other 2%. In 2010, the Association of Religion Data Archives reported that the three largest denominational groups in Arizona were the Catholic Church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and non-denominational evangelical Protestants. The Catholic Church has the highest number of adherents in Arizona at 930,001, followed by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints with 410,263 members reported 72, and then non-denominational evangelical Protestants, reporting 281,105 adherents. 73. The religious body with the largest number of congregations is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, with 836 congregations 74, followed by the Southern Baptist Convention, with 323 congregations. According to the Association of Religion Data Archives, the 15 largest denominations by number of adherents in 2010 and 2000 were 75, 76. Economy. See also, Economy of Arizona and Arizona locations by per capita income. Arizona's Meteor Crater is a tourist attraction. The 2011 total gross state product was $259 billion. This figure gives Arizona a larger economy than such countries as Ireland, Finland, and New Zealand. Dubious. Discuss. The composition of the state's economy is moderately diverse, although health care, transportation and the government remain the largest sectors. The state's per capita income is $40,828, ranking 39th in the U.S. The state had a median household income of $50,448, making it 22nd in the country and just below the U.S. national mean. 79. Early in its history, Arizona's economy relied on the 5 C's: copper, see copper mining in Arizona, cotton, cattle, citrus, and climate, tourism. Copper is still extensively mined from many expansive open pit and underground mines, accounting for 2/3 of the nation's output. Employment. Total employment 2016, 2,379,409. Total employer establishments 2016, 139,134, 80. The state government is Arizona's largest employer, while Banner Health is the state's largest private employer, with more than 39,000 employees 2016. As of March 2016, the state's unemployment rate was 5.4%. 81. The top employment sectors in Arizona are: August 2014, excludes agriculture. Public transportation, Amtrak, and intercity bus. See also, List of passenger train stations in Arizona. The Phoenix and Tucson metropolitan areas are served by public bus transit systems. Yuma and Flagstaff also have public bus systems. Greyhound Lines serves Phoenix, Tucson, Flagstaff, Yuma, and several smaller communities statewide. A light rail system, called Valley Metro Rail, was completed in December 2008. It connects central Phoenix with the nearby cities of Mesa and Tempe. In Tucson, the Sunlink streetcar system travels through the downtown area, connecting the main University of Arizona campus with Mercado San Agustin on the western edge of downtown Tucson. Sunlink, loosely based on the Portland streetcar, launched in July 2014. 85. Amtrak Southwest Chief Route serves the northern part of the state, stopping at Winslow, Flagstaff, Williams and Kingman. The Texas Eagle and Sunset Limited routes serve south-central Arizona, stopping at Tucson, Maricopa, Yuma and Benson. Phoenix lost Amtrak service in 1996 with the discontinuation of the Desert Wind, and now an Amtrak bus runs between Phoenix and the station in Maricopa. Aviation. See also, List of airports in Arizona. Airports with regularly scheduled commercial flights include Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport IATA, PHX, ICAO, KPHX in Phoenix, the state's largest airport and the major international airport, Tucson International Airport IATA, TUS, ICAO, KTUS in Tucson, Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport IATA, AZA, ICAO, Kiwa in Mesa, Yuma International Airport IATA, Neal, ICAO, KNYL in Yuma, Prescott Municipal Airport PRC in Prescott, Flagstaff Pulliam Airport IATA, FLG, ICAO, KFLG in Flagstaff, and Grand Canyon National Park Airport IATA, GCN, ICAO, KGCN, FAA, GCN, a small, but busy, single runway facility providing tourist flights, mostly from Las Vegas. Phoenix Sky Harbor is the world's 7th busiest airport in terms of aircraft movements and 17th for passenger traffic. 86, 87. Other significant airports without regularly scheduled commercial flights include Scottsdale Municipal Airport IATA, SCF, ICAO, KSDL in Scottsdale, and Deer Valley Airport IATA, DVT, ICAO, KDVT, FAA, DVT, home to 2 flight training academies and the nation's busiest general aviation airport. 88. Law and Government. Main article, Government of Arizona. See also, Arizona Constitution, United States Congressional Delegations from Arizona, List of Arizona Governors, Political Party Strength in Arizona, and Arizona Revised Statutes. Capitol Complex. The original Arizona state capital, Phoenix. The state capital of Arizona is Phoenix. The original Capitol building, with its distinctive copper dome, was dedicated in 1901. Construction was completed for $136,000 in 1900, when the area was a territory. Phoenix became the official state capital with Arizona's admission to the Union in 1912. The House of Representatives and Senate buildings were dedicated in 1960, and an executive office building was dedicated in 1974. The 9th floor of this building is where the office of the governor is located. The original Capitol building was converted into a museum. The Capitol complex is fronted and highlighted by the richly landscaped Wesley Bolin Memorial Plaza, named after Wesley Bolin, a governor who died in office in the 1970s. The site also includes many monuments and memorials, including the anchor and signal mast from the USS Arizona, one of the U.S. Navy ships sunk in Pearl Harbor, and a granite version of the Ten Commandments. State legislative branch. The Arizona legislature is bicameral like the legislature of every other state except Nebraska, and consists of a 30-member Senate and a 60-member House of Representatives. Each of the 30 legislative districts has 1 senator and 2 representatives. Legislators are elected for 2-year terms. Each legislature covers a 2-year period. The first session following the general election is known as the first regular session, and the session convening in the second year is known as the second regular session. Each regular session begins on the second Monday in January and adjourns sine die terminates for the year no later than Saturday of the week in which the 100th day from the beginning of the regular session falls. The President of the Senate and Speaker of the House, by rule, may extend the session up to 7 additional days. Thereafter, the session can be extended only by a majority vote of members present of each house. The majority party is the Republican Party, which has held power in both houses since 1993. The Democratic Party picked up several legislative seats in Arizona State House, bringing Democratic leader Charlene Fernandez 1 seat shy of a majority, 31 to 29. Arizona state senators and representatives are elected for 2-year terms and are limited to 4 consecutive terms in a chamber, though there is no limit on the total number of terms. When a lawmaker is term limited from office, it is not uncommon for him or her to run for election in the other chamber. The fiscal year 2006-07 general fund budget, approved by the Arizona legislature in June 2006, is slightly less than $10 billion. Besides the money spent on state agencies, it also includes more than $500 million in income and property tax cuts, pay raises for government employees, and additional funding for the K-12 education system. State Executive Branch. State of Arizona elected officials: Governor Doug Ducey, R. Secretary of State Katie Hobbs, D. Attorney General Mark Brnovich, R. State Treasurer Kimberly Yee, R. Superintendent of Public Instruction Kathy Hoffman, D. State Mine Inspector Joe Hart, R. Corporation Commissioner Sandra Kennedy, D. Bob Burns, R. Andy Tobin, R. Boyd Dunn, R. Justin Olson, R. Speaker of the House Rusty Bowers, R. House Democratic Leader Charlene Fernandez, D. President of the Senate Karen Fann, R. Senate Democratic Leader David Bradley, D. Arizona's executive branch is headed by a governor, who is elected to a 4-year term. The governor may serve any number of terms, though no more than 2 in a row. Arizona is one of the few states that does not maintain a governor's mansion. During office, the governors reside within their private residence, and all executive offices are housed in the Executive Tower at the state capitol. The governor of Arizona is Doug Ducey, R. Former Governor Jan Brewer assumed office after Janet Napolitano had her nomination by Barack Obama for Secretary of Homeland Security confirmed by the United States Senate. 89. Arizona has had 4 female governors, more than any other state. Other elected executive officials include the Secretary of State, State Treasurer, State Attorney General, Superintendent of Public Instruction, State Mine Inspector, and a 5-member Corporation Commission. All elected officials hold a term of 4 years, and are limited to 2 consecutive terms, except the office of the State Mine Inspector, which is limited to 4 terms. 90. Arizona is one of 5 states that do not have a specified lieutenant governor. The Secretary of State is the first in line to succeed the governor in the event of death, disability, resignation, or removal from office. The line of succession also includes the Attorney General, State Treasurer, and Superintendent of Public Instruction. Since 1977, 4 Secretaries of State and 1 Attorney General have risen to Arizona's governorship through these means. State Judicial Branch. The Arizona Supreme Court is the highest court in Arizona. The court consists of 1 Chief Justice, a Vice Chief Justice, and 5 Associate Justices. Justices are appointed by the governor from a list recommended by a bipartisan commission, and are re-elected after the initial 2 years following their appointment. Subsequent re-elections occur every 6 years. The Supreme Court has appellate jurisdiction in death penalty cases, but almost all other appellate cases go through the Arizona Court of Appeals beforehand. The court has original jurisdiction in a few other circumstances, as outlined in the state constitution. The court may also declare laws unconstitutional, but only while seated en banc. The court meets in the Arizona Supreme Court building at the Capitol Complex, at the southern end of Wesley Bolin Plaza. The Arizona Court of Appeals, further divided into two divisions, is the intermediate court in the state. Division 1 is based in Phoenix, consists of 16 judges, and has jurisdiction in the western and northern regions of the state, along with the greater Phoenix area. Division 2 is based in Tucson, consists of 6 judges, and has jurisdiction over the southern regions of the state, including the Tucson area. Judges are selected in a method similar to the one used for state Supreme Court justices. Each county of Arizona has a superior court, the size and organization of which are varied and generally depend on the size of the particular county.